Welcome back to WION World is One. You're watching Speed News with me, Vidur Kathuria. Let's get started. 14 countries, including France, Britain and Germany, have condemned Israel's recent approval of new Jewish settlement in the occupied West Bank. In a joint statement released by the French Foreign Ministry, the countries recalled their clear opposition to any form of annexation and to the expansion of settlement policies. The countries condemned what they called unilateral actions and said they violate international law and risk undermining the ceasefire in Gaza. Iran's Revolutionary Guards have seized an oil tanker in the Gulf carrying more than a dozen foreign crew members. Iranian Navy claimed the vessel was carrying 4 million litres of smuggled fuel with 16 non-Iranian crew members on board. It added that forces from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps boarded the ship as it was leaving Iranian territorial waters. It was not immediately clear which flag the ship was flying. Ukraine and the US have moved closer to a jointly agreed formula to end the war after the latest round of talks. Kyiv seemed to have won some limited concessions in the latest version of a US-led draft plan. The latest version of a plan to end the Russian invasion would freeze the front line but still pave the way for Ukrainian withdrawals and the creation of demilitarized zones. Moscow has repeatedly said NATO membership for Ukraine is unacceptable. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov has said that Russia is reviewing the plan. Ukrainian President Zelensky has said that Russia could never occupy the Ukrainian heart or break its national unity. In his address on Christmas Eve, Zelensky seemed to wish death for Russian President Putin. He said Ukrainians shared one common hope: may he perish, in an apparent reference to Putin. He also condemned Russian attacks leading up to the holidays as godless strikes devoid of anything human or Christian. In the latest attack on December 23rd, at least 3 people were killed and 12 others injured. In Ukraine's port city of Odessa, an oil spill caused by Russian strike has left dozens of birds coated in vegetable oil along the beaches. Odessa governor said in a post on Telegram the spill occurred after storage tanks of sunflower oil were damaged in attacks on port infrastructure. Emergency crews installed floating barriers and deployed specialized vessels to contain the leak, while the port's channel was temporarily closed. The US Justice Department says it has uncovered more than 1 million documents related to the Jeffrey Epstein case, and processing these for release could take a few more weeks. The Justice Department said it has received the documents from the US Attorney for the Southern District of New York and the FBI. European leaders have accused Washington of coercion and intimidation after the US imposed a visa ban on 5 prominent European figures who have been at the heart of the campaign to introduce laws regulating American tech companies. The visa bans were imposed on Thierry Breton, the former EU Commissioner and one of the architects of the bloc's Digital Services Act (DSA). Visa was also refused to 4 anti-disinformation campaigners, including 2 in Germany and 2 in the UK. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un oversaw the test firing of a long-range surface-to-air missile at a launch site near its east coast. State media reported that during the test, the missile destroyed targets in the air from 200 kilometers away. The team also observed construction work at a separate site on a nuclear-powered submarine capable of launching surface-to-air missiles, but the report did not identify the location or the date of his visit. An earthquake struck Taiwan's southeastern coastal county of Taitung on Wednesday. Surveillance footage captured the moment of the earthquake at a supermarket with products falling off shaking shelves. The earthquake had a magnitude of 6.1 and there were no immediate reports of damage. More than 100 people were killed in a quake in southern Taiwan in 2016, while a 7.3 magnitude quake killed more than 2,000 people in 1999. A man was killed in Bangladesh as a group threw crude explosives from a flyover in the Mog Bazar area of Dhaka. The explosive fell on the victim's head and burst, critically injuring him. He died soon after. Police cordoned off the area after the incident as panic spread. Police officials say the investigation is underway and the motive has not yet been confirmed. No group has so far claimed responsibility for the incident. Tariq Rahman, BNP's acting chairperson and former Bangladesh Prime Minister Khalid Zia's son, is all set to return to Dhaka along with his family. With this ends Rahman's over 17 years of self-exile in London. He returns less than 2 months before the parliamentary elections. BNP sources cited in reports said his presence in campaigns as the party's star leader will help boost its prospects and its workers' morale. At least 17 people were killed and several others injured in a road accident in India's southern state of Karnataka. The accident took place in the Chitradurga district after a private sleeper coach bus caught fire following a collision with a lorry. The bus was travelling from state capital Bengaluru to Gokarna. Incident happened early morning around 6 a.m. local time. In another accident in southern India, at least 9 people were killed in Tamil Nadu after a government bus collided with 2 vehicles. According to police, the bus, while proceeding towards Tiruchirappalli from Chennai, swerved to the opposite side and collided head-on with 2 vehicles, SUV and a car. 7 occupants of the 2 private vehicles were killed. Police said the bus changed direction due to a tyre burst. 4 persons, including 2 children, sustained severe injuries and they were being treated at state-run hospitals. Nasri Asfoura, a conservative businessman backed by US President Donald Trump, has been declared winner of the Honduran presidential vote. This comes 3 weeks after elections marred by delays and allegations of fraud. According to National Electoral Council, the National Party candidate Asfoura obtained 40.3% of the vote, edging out centre-right Liberal Party candidate Salvador Nasrallah, who garnered 39.5%. At least 7 people were killed after an explosion tore through a mosque in Nigeria. The explosion took place during evening prayers in Maiduguri, the capital of Nigeria's Borno state, the city that has been at the heart of an Islamist insurgency waged by Boko Haram and its offshoot Islamic State West Africa province for nearly 2 decades. The insurgency has killed tens of thousands and displaced millions across the northeast. So far, no group has claimed responsibility, but militants have previously targeted mosques and crowded places in the city. Algeria's parliament has unanimously approved a law declaring France's colonization of the country a crime and demanding an apology and reparations. Lawmakers wearing scarves in the colors of the national flag chanted "Long live Algeria" as they applauded the passage of the bill. The legislation states that France holds legal responsibility for its colonial past in Algeria and the tragedies it caused. The vote comes as the two countries are embroiled in a major diplomatic crisis. Santa is on his way. The North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD, is continuing with its tradition of tracking Santa Claus's journey across the world. NORAD, a joint United States and Canadian operation charged with monitoring the skies for threats since the Cold War, has been tracking Santa's Christmas journey for 70 years. NORAD says the tradition started when a child mistakenly called its center and asked to speak to Santa Claus. Pope Leo held the first Christmas Mass of his pontificate, greeting thousands of faithful gathered in St. Peter's Square before the service. Pope Leo said the Christmas was a feast of faith, charity and hope, and criticized a distorted economy that leads us to treat human beings as mere merchandise. The Mass was attended by high-ranking church figures, diplomats, and around 6,000 faithful. Hundreds of worshippers gathered at the Mass at the Church of the Nativity in Bethlehem as the city ushered in its first festive Christmas in more than 2 years. A somber tone had marked Christmases in the biblical birthplace of Jesus Christ during the 2 years of the Gaza war. But celebrations returned full swing this year with crowded parades and music in the occupied West Bank city. Worshippers gathered at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris on Christmas Eve as a procession at midnight mass took place inside the landmark church. Choirs sang during the service as Archbishop of Paris delivered the homily, with worshippers filling the cathedral for the Christmas celebration. Delhi's pollution levels have improved on the back of stronger winds. The Commission for Air Quality Management on Wednesday revoked the restrictions under the GRAP 4 for the National Capital Region and adjoining areas. According to the Central Pollution Board data today, the average air quality index in Delhi at 6:30 a.m. local time was 220. The Government of India has issued directions to the states imposing a complete ban on the grant of any new mining leases across the entire Aravalli landscape. The directive seeks to safeguard the Aravalli Hills as a continuous geological ridge stretching from Gujarat to the national capital and to put an end to unregulated mining across the region. The announcement comes amid public outcry alleging that the Supreme Court's acceptance of a height-based definition would open up over 90% of the Aravallis to mining. A powerful winter storm swept across California with heavy rain and gusty winds leading to evacuation warnings for mudslides in parts of Southern California. It brought near whiteout snow conditions in the mountains and hazardous travel for millions of holiday drivers. Forecasters said Southern California could see its wettest Christmas in years and warned about flash flooding. A typically quiet pre-Christmas trading session on Wednesday opened the way for Santa Claus rally hopefuls, with stocks hitting all-time highs again. This sentiment got a boost from new jobs data. Wall Street now turns its eyes to 2026 and the potential for more central bank rate cuts despite solid growth data. US benchmarks closed higher in a shortened holiday trading session on Wednesday, with the S&P 500 extending a winning streak to a fifth day. On the other hand, Bitcoin missed out on the Christmas cheer on Wall Street. The OG token has barely stirred and stalled at around $87,300, pinned in a tight $85,000 to $90,000 range and showing little sign of life. Bitcoin is down about 30% from its all-time peak of above $126,000 in October. The token is now on track for its worst quarterly performance since mid-2022. Morgan Stanley says US firms may be able to avoid layoffs in 2026 as long as prices continue to surge. This comes amid growing concerns over rising layoffs heading into the new year. Economists at Morgan Stanley believe companies started raising prices in the third quarter of 2025, citing tariffs as the primary catalyst. Economists believe majority of the tariff pass-through to the final consumer will be completed by 2026, assuming no more tariff onslaught by the Trump administration. However, some analysts emphasize companies are not done raising prices. This can complicate the layoff outlook in 2026. After a reprieve just days ago, China's real estate developer faces another bond test. China's last major developer has so far avoided debt payment failure, but on Monday, Vanke got some relief after a narrowly won last-minute support to defer payments on a 2 billion yuan bond. Vanke has been holding rapid rounds of back-to-back talks with creditors as it faces a 13.4 billion yuan maturity wall by the end of June. For now, Vanke has won bondholders' approval to delay payments on another 3.7 billion yuan or $526 million bond. However, creditors have 6 options to choose from to push back payments in some form on Christmas Day. In the absence of any extension, a cash-strapped developer would have to pay the note when it falls due on December 28th or within a 5-working-day grace period. Otherwise, the firm risks default. Ivory Coast made a winning start to their Africa Cup of Nations title defense. The holders defeated Mozambique 1-0. The Elephants started off strong but squandered off several chances to take a lead. Manchester United forward Amad Diallo provided relief to the defending champions when he struck 4 minutes after the restart. Ivory Coast are aiming to become the first defending champions since Egypt in 2010 to retain the title. And for Mozambique, they are still to win a match at the AFCON finals, stretching back to their tournament debut in 1986. This is their 6th appearance with a record of 4 draws and 12 losses. Algeria claimed a dominant victory over 10-man Sudan in their Africa Cup of Nations Group E opener in Rabat. Riyad Mahrez gave his side an ideal start after finding the net just 2 minutes into the game. He doubled the lead just after the hour mark with a composed finish inside the box. Ibrahim Maza made it 3-0 with 5 minutes left with Algeria's 100th goal in the tournament. The North Africans lifted the title in 2019 but have failed to progress past the group stages at the past 2 editions of the tournament. Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes is set to face a spell on the sidelines after picking up an injury. United manager Ruben Amorim has confirmed that Fernandes, along with Kobbie Mainoo, will miss Friday's Premier League clash against Newcastle. Fernandes was forced off during Sunday's 2-1 defeat at Aston Villa after suffering a hamstring problem. Amorim admitted it is impossible to replace Fernandes, but hopes his absence will provide an opportunity for other players to step up, take on leadership responsibilities and fill his role in midfield.